Unable to get a job or even a callback at the top of her marketing career, Barbara Brooks went on to found Second Act Women, a community of women in their 40s and 50s supporting each other. And now it's grown to thousands of women in a short amount of time. And she has really started a movement around ageism. Listen in as this force of nature, Barbara Brooks, shares her wisdom. Hello, dreamers. Welcome to the Late Starters Club, giving you the inspiration, mindset, and tools you need to start something midlife and beyond. Remember, it's never too late to follow your dreams. And now, a word from our sponsor, me. Would you like to get more inbound leads and sales from Facebook, Instagram, and Google? For most people, the answer is yes. But learning these ad platforms is time consuming and complicated, and oftentimes business owners set up their campaigns wrong and waste a ton of money. Let us do the work for you. I'm Andrea Vall. I've been running ad campaigns for clients for 11 years, and I have generated over $4 million in trackable sales from Facebook, Instagram, and Google for my clients in the last 2 years. Some of the things I've done for my clients include things like 3,000 targeted new email subscribers to a list, sold 54 tickets to a brand new 2-day event directly from Facebook, 8x return on ads to a brand new digital course, 3,845 webinar attendees with over 300 member sales. So if you're looking for results like these, and don't want to run your ad campaigns yourself, go to my website, andreavall.com, and select the Facebook ad services to learn more. I'd love to have a conversation with you about how I can help you get more inbound leads and sales. Hey, late starters, it's your host, Andrea Vall, and I am joined by the amazing Barbara Brooks, founder of Second Act Women, and a huge proponent of people who are getting a late start in life or starting or restarting or pivoting or all of that stuff. Thank you so much for joining us, Barbara. It's great to have you here.
I am so thrilled to be here. Thank you, Andrea.
Yeah, and it's so awesome to get connected because, like I was telling you before, when I was starting this podcast, everyone was like, "You got to talk to Barbara. You got to get connected with Second Act Women. You got to." It's like, great. I'll just invite you to be on the podcast, and then we'll get connected, and I'll get over to your events and all that stuff.
And here we are.
And here we are.
I'm
So great. So,
excited.
so you started Second Act Women. It's been how many years ago?
Oh
It was when you
gosh.
were 51.
Yeah, it was 2018 that I started it.
Okay,
Summer of
2018.
2018.
Okay, so yeah, 4 or 5 years ago at
Yeah.
this point.
I can't believe it.
And it's grown so fast and so amazingly well, and that's just a testament to the need for this type of community. So that's
Yeah,
awesome.
I can agree. It's interesting because when the company first started, as you said, I was 51 at the time, and I was the target demo that I'm reaching now because it started because I couldn't get into corporate America or back into it, I should
Right.
say. And so I decided it was time to do something about it. And I didn't realize that it would actually turn into that this company that I was creating with finger quotes
Yeah.
would turn into a company solely focused on women over 40
Yeah.
in particular between 45 and 62. It wasn't until in conversation and strategy sessions and things that when I started a company again in 2018, it was like my third company since I couldn't get hired,
Yeah.
that it came about that, oh, I should focus. I'm hearing the same thing over and over that we're being forgotten and left behind. And
Right.
yeah, so here I
Yeah.
am.
It was time to do something about it, and you
It was
did.
time to
That's
do
great.
something about it.
That's great. Yeah, because you had an amazing career marketing for CBS Radio, for Town of Aurora, lots of like high level marketing
Park
positions. And
Meadows Retail Resort, fashion show mall in Las Vegas, Nevada, all over Texas.
right,
I had a successful mall marketing career
right.
mostly. And then, yes, I dabbled in radio and TV. And yeah, that's what surprised me is that I wasn't getting the calls.
Yeah.
I wasn't even getting invited to the table to even interview. And when I did, I would get these Dear Jan letters or get ghosted. believe it
Yeah.
or not, altogether.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So easy.
crazy.
Yeah, as someone with such high level experience, great experience, you could not get another job, so you created your own
I
business.
created my own job. I created my own job, which is what a lot of women today are doing. If they are
Right,
deciding to leave corporate, they are deciding to create their own pathway. They're designing their
right,
own lives and their own
right.
careers.
Yeah, because you do have a mix of people in Second Act Women too. It's both the career women who are navigating that kind of ceiling that they might be up against, and also entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah, and I have to say, it's transitioned into roughly 80 to 85% business owners. Women over 40 are starting more businesses than ever before. And frankly, pre pandemic, 1,220 businesses a day were started by women over 40. And so it's only gotten larger since the pandemic when the great recession was happening, the great, what was that, resignation was happening. It was more
Yes,
like the
yeah.
great push out of women and men over 40 and 50. And so they were starting companies. And I would say now our community and our larger focus, we have two targets, and that is the business owner of the micro business. And then the second are corporate women, but within corporate America, we're working with corporate America and working with their women within their walls now because it turns out ageism, age is just not an ism that they add into their DE and I initiatives. And
Mm,
as a Black woman, I appreciate that I am included in their initiatives, obviously,
yeah.
but the fact that age is not amongst any of the 8% of companies, by the way, that have DEI initiatives, diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, age is not one of them. Only 8% of the companies include age.
Wow. And
Yeah.
that's shocking to me that there's only 8% who do include a DEI. Yeah. Yeah. That is crazy.
Yes.
That's hopefully that will start changing as companies.
Hopefully, with our mission, our movement that we're creating with other companies, other women's organizations, there's changing the narrative. There's so many other companies out there like ours that are working on behalf of changing the dynamic of what age looks like today.
Yeah.
And the fact that gendered ageism really should be let go of. If you're going to
Right.
let go of anything in corporate America, let go of the gendered and ageist bias.
You've started this whole movement and whole community later in your life. And what has been one of the lessons you've learned as you've started this later? I think the amazing growth is shocking, but what
Yeah.
has contributed to that success and what kind of lessons have you learned along the way?
I'm going to tell you, this company started originally as for women, again, over 40 and 50, as an event company. And of course, COVID came along and wiped out that mission. And so we had to do our own swiveling. We say that versus pivoting because that's so overused. And God, I have to say, perseverance and the community. The lessons that I learned is the importance of stick to itiveness. And if you have something that other people appreciate, understand, and are joining on their own, that means you have something solid. That means that your purpose and your passion are in the right place. And so you need to stick with it in good times and in those damn bad times. Because trust me, it's not roses and rainbows all the time. So I would say it's the perseverance and sticking with it and listening to others and also having built this wonderful community that has really kept me uplifted and the learning of how important it is to support other women,
Mhm.
important it is to build a community. And by community, not only social media, but I really mean also your friend dynamic, your family dynamic, the community you build around yourself to also keep you uplifted and also tell you the truth, frankly. I'm
It's
very
huge.
independent. And so in the past, I would not listen to other people. It was like, no, what are you talking about? I got this. No.
Feedback is key is
Yeah.
and done with love, right?
And
Loving.
can I tell you too, also continued learning,
Yeah.
continued personal and professional development. I have never been one for self-care or honestly, it's not for me. I've always been a workaholic. That is my passion, my purpose, and everything and anything that I've done. But I think the lesson learned is also to take care of me, my mindset, and
Mhm.
also make sure that I'm doing the same for others. So I'm checking in
Yep.
on those that have big personalities that go silent. So because maybe they're in a hole, they're in their
Mhm.
own minds, they're going through depression, whatever it may be. So I think the lesson is taking care of me. And I'm still working on that, but it's also, and I know that sounds so, it's something everybody says. And I never thought that I'd be that person that would repeat that and also now believe in it, but I get it.
Yeah.
I get it at 56. I get it.
Yeah, I totally agree because I think starting your own business and having almost unlimited possibilities sometimes is overwhelming. And I think there is no boss, there is no
Right.
team necessarily telling you what the direction is, and you have to choose it all on your own. And it's highs and lows that just come through
Yeah.
this whole entrepreneurial journey. I think it's very different than being in corporate America for sure.
Absolutely. The fact that you can get up every day and determine what you're going to do for the day, or hopefully you've made a plan so you know what you're going to do the day before for the next day. But yeah, the fact that you can drive your own mission and also drive your own ability to create your own revenue, your own revenue sources. So
Right.
now it's not just one source of income
Yep.
on this job that maybe you like, maybe you don't, but now it's also as an entrepreneur, oh my gosh, I'm a visionary. I want to do this and this, and I can make money at that. You don't have to just do one thing anymore.
I know, it's definitely exciting, but for people who are like idea factories, who I think you
Idea.
are,
That's me. Oh my gosh.
if you could go back and tell your younger self one thing, what would that be as you've gone through your career and seen the trajectory of everything? What advice would you give to your younger self?
So this question always gets me because I would not tell her I would let her be who she was at that time. I don't think there's any advice that I can give myself back then that I would have listened to, frankly. I think who I was back then made me who I am today. So when I get this question, I'm always tied up with how do I answer it because other than what we all say is everything is going to be okay. I guess I'm a futurist in a sense. So I would like to say to my future self instead, I'd like to flip the table and say to my future self that what I am building and doing today is changing lives. And the legacy that I am building for myself and helping other women build for themselves will always be, again, I'm talking to my future self, just keep going,
Yeah.
keep swimming, because there are times that as an entrepreneur, and we said this, that we want to give up. We get burned out. It's very easy to get burned out. Then you're reminded, wait, okay, hold up. Let me just rescript this mindset. Let me rework and remind myself why I'm here and what it is I'm doing. I don't know. I like to say, what would I say to my future self? So for my future self, it's keep going, keep swimming.
Yeah, I love that. I
Yeah.
love that whole idea because it is true. Like, it's people say, would you go back and change anything? And of course, there's little mistakes or learning,
Yes.
teachings, but
I made a lot of them.
but you wouldn't be who you are today, right? And you wouldn't be in that space. So I
Right.
definitely agree. I love that. So it's important to not look back with regret, but
Yeah.
with love and say that you're,
It's
yeah,
okay. Those
yeah.
mistakes that I made that sat in my brain for days, if not weeks, by making
Mhm.
major or little or setting things on fire, not literally setting things on, but those things that were so little,
Right.
that were so big at the time, that crowded my brain with depression and all the things that I've learned from. I don't know.
Yeah, so let's actually dive into that a little bit deeper. Has there been a big, and I never like to call anything a mistake necessarily because I
Yeah.
do feel like it all teaches us lessons.
But we
Has
do
there
make
been,
mistakes. Yeah.
but has there been a time like an oh shit moment or something where it was really a bad situation that you got through, and how did you get through that?
So there have been many of those. At 56, of course, there's been many. So let me make sure that I'm clear. Are you talking about in life, in business, in my past career in corporate?
Yeah, any one of those, because I think if there's a lesson that you have learned from something, I'd love to just hear if there's at any point, could be personal, could
Can I
be,
tell you?
yeah.
It is I would have to say that I think my "oh shit" moment would be not taking the time, not understanding my brain, and that now that I really have been told that I have ADHD, not realizing what that has done. I think it's taking the time to take a breath. It's taking time to listen to others, taking because I've had many OSH moments where had I just taken a step back and listened to that person,
Mhm.
listened in that moment about what was happening, whether it's on the
Right,
job, whether it's a business problem
right,
or a personal problem. It's taking a step back, breathing, and not immediately reacting and not immediately being in the moment where I'm reactionary because I'm a
right.
reactionary person.
Yeah.
And I'm realizing now at 56 that I need to take a beat because when I haven't taken a beat, in times it's gotten me in trouble.
Mhm.
Whether it's me speaking out of turn or being wrong because I want to do this and instead of listening to what the person said, I did this and I should have did this, and had I
Yeah.
listened to them, things would have been better. So I think and I know that I'm going around and some of that again is the ADHD, which I so fascinated with, and
Yeah,
finally knowing that this is what I have and why my
yeah,
brain works the way it does. I would have to say, yeah, I've had many moments where had I just taken a moment to understand my brain and understand I need to
yeah,
just
yeah.
pause.
Yeah, no, that's probably where all problems come from, right? Like
Yeah.
anything we're just,
Just being
charging
reactionary
into
versus
things. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And as someone who gets things done, you're a mover and a shaker who does things. So with that type of personality, it's easy to just quickly jump in and be like,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna fix that. Because I definitely feel that myself as well. And I think that the advantage of now doing something older in our lives
Yeah.
is that we know ourselves so much better. We're able to understand our patterns, our weaknesses, where we fall down. Back when we were interviewing for jobs, they would ask what the weakness is. Oh, I care too much or whatever the
Yeah,
whatever
all those
the
that you're like, you know they're sitting there going, "Oh my god, if I hear this answer one more time
I
from
know,
one more
right?
candidate." That's what you're
But we
trained to
and
say.
we know our actual weaknesses, which mi
Yes.
mine is trying to do all the things, but I think that's great. Just realizing that and seeing that is so helpful now.
Can I also say too, it's also we're talking about age now, it's also knowing that there's power in this number, in this chapter number. There's power in the experience. And there's power in even where we've been. Yes,
Mhm.
the mistakes, the reactionary moments that we've all had, the moments of time that you wish you could take back, but in actuality, when you look back, you've learned from them. But you understand that, at least for me, that you've learned from them until you hit this time, this age where you're just ready to accept who you are, understand it, learn from it, ask for help when you need to, because if you're an independent A type personality, asking for help was always a difficulty. And now recognizing that it's okay to ask for help and you should, because that's where the growth happens.
Right.
It's admitting when you're wrong. It's all those things, but it's the power of this age of the thirst to learn, the thirst to understand. It's a power dynamic that a lot of us are unaware of
Mm.
that we have because of the imposter syndrome, because of the lack of confidence, because of what we've been told that we're too old to be to do at this age, because we're told we're over the hill thanks to those damn black balloons that used to be so big when we turned
I know.
40 even. You're over
Oh,
the
yeah,
hill.
40. I know, right?
When I'm at the top of the hill, don't tell me I'm over the hill. Are you kidding me? I have so many things that I want to do with my life, that I am doing with my life.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
haven't expired. There's no expiration date on this box.
For sure, that's great. That brings up a great point, though, on society's view of aging. Do you
Yeah.
think that society has been shifting their view of aging, or do you think it's improving, getting worse? Because I remember we had those black balloons even when my parents were turning 40, and
And
it
we would
was,
laugh about them. We
oh,
would think,
yeah. Yeah,
"Ah."
yeah. But now, I do you think there's a shift, or is it something that we're still having to really push through in the messaging?
We still have to push through. Ageism is alive and well. It's the new sexism, and it is running rampant within corporate America and in small business ownership. We as women only receive 3% of funding. If we are looking for VC funding or any type of funding, we are overlooked. We are still unheard in corporate rooms. We are undervalued. We even
Mhm.
have the internal ageist bias. And we're still looking at magazines that say, oh, the styles of wearing your hair at 50, and they're all short haircuts. What? Or women are still being pushed out of their jobs if they're front facing because they have gray hair and they want to own it. So it's still there, but I will say that things are changing. So the tide is changing thanks to organizations like Second Act Women, changing the narrative. You have Grace Creative out of LA. You've got, let's see, the Modern Gen X Women. You've got these companies that are being built by women over 40, more specifically over 45, it seems, that are now owning our age. We're owning and valuing this time in life, and we're out. We're coming out. That's it. We are coming out of the closet, letting you know. And so we're not being shamed because we're going through menopause and I'm having a hot flash and I'm admitting it. And I am now, matter of fact. So literally it's happening. But also, we're talking about the state of our bodies. We're owning the fact that I can wear really cute skinny jeans, even at my size 18 self, and look good in it and feel good. So we are now, oh, we can wear two-piece suits and not be shamed for it. And we shouldn't be, whether you're thick or skinny. So it's a matter of, I think women are starting to take the narrative back. Still a lot of work, just like there
Mhm.
was as an African American female, there's a lot of work in the racism and LGBTQism, just all these isms. It's
Yeah.
now all the women who, all the people that have isms placed on them are now out and boldly changing the narrative. And by the way, 56 is the new 56 because I'm 56. I don't want to be 46 again. I don't want to be 36. And I had a hell of a lot of fun at 26, just out of college, as I did all through all those times. But I don't want to go back. This is
No.
what it looks like.
Yeah.
This is 56.
Yeah. I know, and it's amazing, and I literally when I turned 50, I had I was, "Oh, I don't wanna turn 50," and everyone's, "No, 50s are great, 50s are great," and I was like, "Oh, you're just saying that, and
Yeah.
you're
Sorry, I
crazy."
curled it because I was going to say that's BS, but yeah.
It is BS. No, it's fine, it's all good. I'm not opposed to cursing.
My mom wouldn't appreciate it, but
But yeah, and it actually was true when I have leaned into the 50s, and they are amazing. It's
amazing.
wonderful. It's so great. And I love it.
Yeah.
Come in ladies, the water's warm. It's
Right? Right. And I have to tell you, so I have always owned my age, no matter, what age, 40, when I was turning 30. Remember how that was a big deal?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're turning 30 and then turning 40 and then 50 and then 60 for me in former years. So I've never been afraid to turn it. I think I do go into a depressive state leading up to it, but it's more on the fact that I'm still single. So I think some of it is like my own internal, what? I still haven't found my man. And then there are other things that as I turn these certain age that I thought or wanted to be or do or
Yeah.
whatever it is. That's what gets me. It's not the age. My mom has always owned her age. She's
Yep.
85. When she was 40, she would tell people she was 40. So yeah. So I'm glad that more women, and even within our organization, when we have meetings and you see my number is on screen, my chapter number, we actually
Uh-huh.
encourage our women, if they're comfortable, because we don't want to push them to do it. But
Yeah.
if they're comfortable, share your age on your name tag. And it is
Right.
amazing.
Yep.
I would say probably 90% of the women now are comfortable doing that.
Yeah. That's because why
They
not?
know they're
Just
amongst their own. So some
right.
of it is that. I don't know
Yeah.
if they would do that outside of the things that we do, but we've got to own the number because that only makes the case for the fact that we are a power dynamic. We
Oh,
have a buying power, by the way,
oh yeah.
of $15 trillion. And I just saw a new number of 18 trillion. But so I'm going to stick with 15 trillion right now for women over 50. And so for brands to now apply brandism to us
Mm.
and not cater to us outside of drugs, depends,
Yeah.
things that they think that we need, that
Yeah.
yeah, we may still need those things too. But on top of that, we shop
Right.
Target, we shop Macy's, we shop
Right.
Old Navy,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
yeah, we shop
Yeah.
Amazon, we shop so
Well, the other thing that is crazy for me, and I don't want to get started too much down this road because I could go all day about this, but the beauty industry and the whole
the
like,
beauty industry.
the whole like all of a sudden I've got to have a specific cream for my neck and my eyebrow and my got to feel bad about my
Age
eyebrow wrinkles
define.
and
Age define. Oh, age define. I'm not trying to define my age. This is who I am. Take that age define. Yes.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
stop it. This is who we are. That only drives the message that we're too old to own
Right.
our gray, or we're too old to have crepe. I think it's called crepe. I don't know.
Yes, crepe. Yeah, crepey
Right?
skin.
Yeah. Or we're too
Yeah, like we
old to own
shouldn't
our wrinkles. Come
like
on.
yeah.
We're all going to suffer from this ism in particular. This is the one ism absolutely everyone has the chance of feeling at some point. Everyone.
Yeah.
It's yet still the only ism that yes, the beauty industry can get away with the age defying crap and can be laughed at from the stages of comedy stages or sitcoms. You can
Mhm.
still laugh about this ism. Well,
But
stop it.
yeah. Yeah. The
Stop it.
exactly, exactly.
I'm owning my gray. And yeah, you know
Awesome.
what?
That's great.
It's just a color. And I choose for my color to be a mix of this and a mix of gray.
Yeah,
And one day I will want to have a new color, and that new color may be gray.
yeah,
But that's all it is, a color.
right.
That's all it is.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I get on. I get
I
on a
know, believe
tangent.
me. So now the podcast is 2 hours of
Right? Like, oh, and I'm still trying to fix my hair. There we go. Yes. I'm trying to
No,
show off my little gray streak now.
yeah, this is great. So I so appreciate all the work you're doing and
Thank you.
all the community you're building. I can't wait to get in there, be a part of it as well, and connect. As we're wrapping this up, I told you before, and my listeners know I love quotes, mantras, all that kind of thing, and I'd love to have people share something that motivates, inspires, or gets them going.
So it's funny because yeah, we were talking about that. So I do have this one. So I do try to give myself a quote. And even though that one's simple, I do a weekly and I just put it
So
on my desk.
yeah, so we'll just
But
say what that is since
oh,
some people
sorry.
might be
It's
listening. Yeah.
life is so beautiful. Live it. Barbara, because I literally want to talk, and I don't refer to myself in third person ever, except for this time. I say this because sadly, I have a friend who's experiencing a very sad diagnosis. And so I'm remembering to live my life in this moment. But the one that I say to myself when I live with depression, and most people who didn't know it till I came out with it 8 years ago when I learned that's what else was going on. There are times where I don't want to get out of bed. And people that live with depression know that feeling, the negative thoughts. So I try to tell myself to get up, dress up, and show up. So even though I work from home and I also have co-working offices, I try to do those things. I try to put on my face. I put on the clothes. I have shoes on, even though again, I'm sitting in my home office. I literally need to do that because that puts me in the right, for me, from corporate America, it puts me in the right frame of mind and it gets me excited for the day.
Yeah.
It gets me ready for the day. So for
Right.
me, it's get up, dress up, and show up.
I love
And
it.
never, by the way, the end of that is never, ever give up. Never give up.
That's awesome. I love that. So great and simple.
Simple.
Easy
It's on my
to
whiteboard. It's everywhere.
yeah.
Alexa
That's
tells it to me from time to time.
Just a little quick.
But she just hurt herself, so
That's great. Barbara, people can find you at secondactwomen.com, right? Anywhere else? Is that where people just head?
oh gosh, we invite them to join us over at Facebook, our Facebook community of 4,800 beautiful, dynamic business women and career women over
Mhm.
40 and 50 from around the globe. That's on Facebook. It's Second Act Women 40 and 50 plus women's group. And there we have real conversations. So it's not just about, you can't put baby in a corner. So
Mhm.
we talk about it all. And so it's not
Mhm.
just about business. Again, it's about life and adolescence and what it's like to be this age. And
Yeah.
there are going to be ups and downs, but this is it. We have one life to live, and let's live it out loud and in color.
Yeah, that is awesome. Thank you so much, Barbara, for being a guest here, getting everyone excited about aging, excited
Yes!
about a life we're living. So that's awesome.
If
Great.
you are aging, you are alive. It is a
Yeah.
privilege to turn every age. Let's keep that in mind.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. I love it. We'll have all these links in the show notes for people. Thanks again, Barbara, and bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Hope that was helpful, and make sure you grab the free guide, Top Tools for Late Starters, on the website at latestartersclub.com. And let's turn dreaming into doing.